if you make the cut on the All-Pro Tour, like you got to finish top 20 to get your money back. If you're not breaking 70 almost every round, better start getting on LinkedIn looking for a job.
Cheers, bro.
Yeah. Who's Andrew Beckler? Awesome. Andrew, thank you for joining us on the Topeka Insider. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Let's go, bro. Well, this is exciting. This is a good one. Walk us through a little bit about...
We'll see if it's a good one.
Yeah, we'll see if it's a good one. 2 minutes.
Pressure's on.
Prove yourself.
Pressure's on.
Prove my word.
No,
I'm kidding.
Give us a little bit about yourself, your relationship with Topeka, what you're doing now. Who is Andrew Beckler?
Born and raised Topekan, so grew up here. I went to Washburn Rural. Ended up going to Kansas State out of high school. Spent a few years there, did the big school thing, didn't like it, came back to Washburn. Turned out to be a great fit for me, then graduated from Washburn. Took me 6 years, but I graduated with a master's degree, and
as Tommy Boy would say, a lot of people go to college for 6 years.
Usually they call them doctors, not in this case.
That's right.
Then I decided to not use it. I turned professional in golf and have been playing professionally for 3 years now. So just chasing my dreams, what I've always wanted to do, and I'm doing it.
That's
pretty awesome.
Sick, dude. Yeah. How'd you first get into golf?
My dad loves the game. I was born on the day Tiger Woods won his first Masters, and story goes, my dad held me up to the TV. The day
in
I was
the hospital
born.
Or something?
Yeah, because he wasn't. He was focused on that. Not on me being born. So,
honey, stop with the screaming. Just let me watch the.
I don't know if it's a coincidence. I mean, I haven't won a Masters or anything, but since birth, I've been into golf. We're trying. But he got me into the game, and that's been a great way for us to stay close and have a great relationship.
So you guys play a lot together?
Yeah, we play a ton together.
That's sick.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man.
It's great.
At what point you playing at Washburn?
Wow.
Was the plan? At what point did it shift from, hey, I'm playing collegiately, this is great, to I think I'm going to try and turn pro?
I really wasn't thinking about it until Jack Nicklaus told me I was a good golfer when I won his award. I really didn't play that great in college. That's kind of why I went from K-State to Washburn. I was not playing K-State, wasn't playing good. Came to Washburn, so at least I could play and get my degree. And then my last year, after I was in my 5th year when COVID happens, think I'm done. They give me that bonus year, and I went and won 5 of 10 tournaments. And I was like, well, never walk away from a heater. Yeah, so that was kind of the moment that I was like, I should probably give this a go if it's always been my dream. But until then, I was looking at jobs and trying to figure out what I was going to do the rest of my life. And
what was your degree in?
Marketing and finance.
Okay.
And I got my MBA, business administration.
Okay. So
I'm a fellow Washburn marketing major.
Come on.
That's a productive 6 years. I mean, you have an MBA.
Yeah, they call it the Harvard of the Midwest. So
that's
what all my professors told me.
Who calls it that? Do people call it that?
Dr. Stoica. Stoica.
David Price. That's my guy.
The Harvard of the Midwest. I love it, bro.
Yes, sir.
That's funny.
That's awesome, man.
So how often are you playing in tournaments?
This time of year, it's every week. I try and book my schedule as full as I possibly can, just trying to get as many opportunities and reps in as possible.
You said this time of year. What's a golfer season look like?
My season really starts in, I'd say like March. I'd say my off season is like December through February, and then March is when the tours, like the mini tours and like PJ sanctioned tours, really start to kick up.
Yeah,
and they play almost every week. You can find something to travel to and play in every week.
Mini tours, PGA Tour. Walk us through. For those who don't know, the different levels of...
That's me.
That would be John. And me, quite frankly. The different levels on the PGA Tour, where you're at, where you're trying to go, what's the end goal?
So PGA Tour is like, a good way to put it is like Major League Baseball. So PGA Tour is MLB, Korn Ferry Tour is AAA, and then like PGA Latin America, PGA Canada are like AA, and I'd even throw in All-Pro Tour where I play as AA, single A.
Yeah.
The Canada and Latin America Tour, like the level of play on that tour and the All-Pro Tour is pretty similar.
Yeah.
It's just way more expensive to travel to Latin America and Canada. So I've just stuck with the All-Pro Tour.
So you're on the All-Pro Tour. Okay.
Yes. Yep. And the advantage to the Latin America and Canada is you have, if you play well, you can get on to the Korn Ferry Tour from there. All-Pro Tour has no affiliation with the tour, so it's just play well, make money, give you a place to prove yourself and
hopefully get
better.
Recognized from there somehow.
Right. A little recognition, but it's really just a place to play. They have 4-day events. There's really no other mini tour that I found that has 4-day tournaments, 2-day cuts. And so
are there certain scores you need to be shooting or consistency to get you to the next stage, or is it kind of just waiting for the call up? And
I mean, it's week to week, but if you're not shooting, if you're not breaking 70 almost every round, better start getting on LinkedIn looking for a job. That's just how it is. It's cutthroat. There's so many guys who are so good. And Monday qualifiers is a perfect example. They have Monday qualifiers every Monday before PJ Tour events and Korn Ferry Tour events. And if you don't shoot 6 under, you might as well just throw your clubs in the trunk and leave, because it's for 4 to 8 spots.
Wow.
And if you don't shoot 6, 7, 8 under, you're automatically just gone. You're out.
Wow.
Good luck next week. Thanks for your $500.
Oh, you had to pay $500 just to
$500 for Monday qualifiers. Mini tour events are like $1,000 entry fees.
Wow.
So on top of all the travel and the stress and stuff, it's not a cheap endeavor.
Right. Yeah. But you're making money somehow from it.
I have been this year.
Let's go. Come on.
So I mean, to profit on the mini tours is tough, because a typical week, $1,000 entry fee. Think $400 to stay for the week, because you're staying 5 nights just about. And then food, if you count food, gas, and then just like buying the yardage books, $25 and all, if you want to go see a movie, that's like $50 now, but
exactly.
But you're in for like $1,500, $1,800 a week. And so if you miss the cut, you get nothing. If you make the cut on the All Pro Tour, you got to finish top 20 to get your money back. Okay. So fortunately, I've played well enough. I can say I've profited this year, which is good. Go. Yeah, so not bad.
Yeah, I saw you had some -7s and some good rounds.
I've been putting together some good rounds this year. It's been rolling nice. So I'm happy about that. I've seen some good improvement. I've built on what I did last year when I played pretty well. So we'll just try and keep that ball rolling.
Do you think the 3 years you've been on pro, this might be a dumb question, have you gotten better? Like year 3, you are better, or are you on a heater? And right now, what are you?
I've definitely improved. My game overall has improved. My health has improved. I made the U.S. Open in 2022, and people would say why don't we, where's that? Why have we made that? I'm probably a 10 to 15% better golfer than I was then,
really?
I'd say. So I've improved since then. It's just golf's so fickle, and you got to have the right things click at the right time, and then you can take off. But you just got to keep chipping away and giving yourself those opportunities.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So can we go there?
Let's go.
So how did that happen, man? You made the U.S. Open.
The U.S. Open 2022?
2022.
How'd that happen? Let's hear about it.
I mean, everybody in the world is only 54 holes away from playing in the U.S. Open.
Why?
54 holes,
why
that's
54 holes?
Is that 3 rounds? 3 rounds. So your first stage is your local qualifier, and they have a bunch of them. So I did mine in Kansas City. Played solid. Hit my first tee shot out of bounds.
Really?
On my way to the U.S. Open. So snipe it left out of bounds, shot even that day, got through. Then you go to your national qualifier, and that was in Maryland for me, and that's 36 holes. There were, I think, 75 guys, low 4, move on to the U.S. Open, and I was T3, didn't want to overachieve, so just snuck in. And then a week later, I was in Boston at the U.S. Open.
Wow. That's wild.
How nerve-wracking was that?
It was terrifying, but I mean, just so many emotions. Fortunately, I played my practice rounds with Gary Woodland and Dustin Johnson. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Wild.
And those were the biggest crowds I saw all week. I mean, we tee up Monday, and I'm like, oh, it's Monday. There won't be anybody there. And it is 300 yards of just a wall of people. And I was like, I better hit this one, not sideways, let alone just, playing with your idols. I mean, those dudes, I looked up to those. Wow. Obviously, Gary, and then DJ being former world #1. So,
heck yeah.
That helped me settle in. I was less nervous Thursday when I teed off for real than I was when I played with those guys. So,
I bet.
Gary's invite there really helped me.
What was it like playing with Gary?
I've played with him a few times, so I mean, I'm used to that. Playing with DJs, was new.
Right.
But I mean, the first few holes were surreal, and then after that, you just start having conversations with the guys, and you realize they're just normal dudes who love golf. They're just exceptional at it, and So it was fun to just chat with them, and then really just I could just learn so much just from watching them and seeing how they interact and what they're doing on the course to prepare, what their caddies are doing. Mm-hmm. My caddy, Ronnie, I'm sure learned a ton from their caddies. So it's just, there's a lot going on, and I tried to soak every bit of it in that week.
So I guess you only got to play with, you played with a handful of guys throughout the 2 days, the Thursday, Friday. Were a lot of guys like all business, don't talk? Or is there some, you're socializing with them as you're playing?
I was pretty social with Luke Gannon. So he's from Wichita originally. So we'd played too much in junior golf together, but I knew Luke. So it was a comfortable pairing. At least I had somebody who's in same shoes as me. First U.S. Open, same age. We're both just kind of pooing our pants a little bit on the first tee. So it was fun to have somebody that I could relate to out there for those 2 days. And we just got brutalized by that golf course. It was really hard. First day. I played well the second day, but that first day it was.
What'd you shoot Thursday, Friday?
78, 71. So 8 over, 1 over. So left with a good taste in my mouth.
There you go.
I think you 2022 when you were playing in the U.S. Open, it was the first time a lot of my friends started watching because we're like, hey, we want to see what Andrew's doing. Topeka guy, and watching golf when you're trying to watch one particular person is horrible. Because they have the corners where there's, you get to watch holes 3, 4, 5, or you get to watch, the select groups. And so it's like, well, I'll watch Andrew when he gets to hole 7, we'll see him hit, for one hole.
Right.
But it's not really ideal for watching one person.
Golf is not the best spectator sport yet. I think, they're working on it. They're trying to do the mic'd up stuff, I think, has been helpful so you can kind of hear what's going on through their heads.
Oh, yeah.
And walking holes with the guys. But yeah, it's still it's the best sport for putting on when you're trying to take a nap.
It's exactly, dude. The stereotype is so true. Yeah. Whose dad didn't fall asleep on Sunday afternoon watching golf?
Yeah. Every dad has. Every person has.
Right.
It's true.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So one of my favorite parts, is he's a big fan, and I'm new to golf in general. I'm starting my career, you could say.
Love it.
But man, watching like you did your own kind of mic'd up stuff, like between holes, and you did some videos, but you have kind of your own podcast, kind of, right?
Yeah, podcast is being very generous, but it's it's just a little post-round recap. I call it Beverage with Beckler. I got it on my mug. That's one of my logos right there. So, nice. But yeah, I had enough people just kind of asking me what's been going. How are you playing? And I didn't really know how to sum it up because I play so much. I'm playing. I didn't want to give just a very generic answer, so I just tell people straight up how I'm playing after every single round. Yeah. I try and give a little feedback on what was going on out there because the scorecard doesn't necessarily tell the entire story of your round or what's going on. And it's a good thing for me personally to just recap the round so I have to think about it. And then after the Beverage with Beckler's done, that's my time where I'm done thinking about golf for the day. And then I can rest and relax and move on for next round or move past the tournament.
Wow. Well, speaking of that, I thought we could have our own Beverage with Beckler. Is that
absolutely?
I think we may even have picked up what appears to be your drink of choice.
Is it blue? Yes, sir. Blue. Let's go. When it's cold, it's blue.
That's right.
That's right.
Awesome. Thank you.
Post round Beverage with Beckler.
Mid pot.
Thank you.
Cheers, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that tastes like we're playing golf right now.
It does.
I wish I was playing golf right now. 650 at Cypress tonight, though, boys.
Ooh. Nice.
See, as you're talking about nerves, I'm trying to think through. Would I be more nervous teeing it up at the U.S. Open, or teeing it up on Cypress Hole 1 with steady traffic going on Urish? I don't know.
I think the steady traffic, because the U.S. Open, you got the galleries right. They're gonna find. You're never gonna lose a ball.
Absolutely.
If you lose a ball on tour, like you hit one way sideways,
right,
or you hit the water,
right.
But that was definitely an advantage, and I used it a couple times at the U.S. Open and at Corn Ferry events. It's like, a couple holes where long is not the end of the world because you can just bang it off the the grandstands and get a free drop. So it's helpful. It's like playing bowling with the bumpers on a little bit.
Dude, so what's the best part? I mean, obviously you love golf itself, but like what gets you going every day? You're on, this circuit right now. Is it, how are you finding the joy in what you're doing now?
I mean, I obviously have like the big goals that I want. Like I want to be on the PJ Tour. I want to be, I mean, number 1 player in the world, but like top 50 be pretty sweet.
Number 1 player in the world. Say it. I love it.
Yeah, that'd be great, but it's just a lot of. I'm cool with like the Charles Howell III career. You make a ton of money, but you can go to Olive Garden and nobody knows who you are.
Yeah.
And so I'm fun. I want to play golf for a living and live comfortably right now.
Yeah.
It's not the most comfortable living, but I found the joy in just the day-to-day grind, just the steady improvement. I've always loved golf, so I found a way to kind of embrace like the inner child where I just love beating balls, playing all the time, and I just have kind of just banked on that and let the results just kind of go and see what happens. But,
right. Yeah.
The big goals obviously are what get me up in the morning, keep me going, and then I've had a taste of it at the U.S. Open, a couple Corn Ferry events, and I've seen my game stack up against some like guys who played golf at the very highest level, and I truly believe I can do it. So
wow.
That's what keeps me rolling.
Heck yeah.
Wow.
What would you say is the best part of your game?
I mean,
feel free to brag on yourself.
It rotates. Like college, it was my short game, and my short game is still is very solid. But right now, I'd say my driving's been kind of sweet. I've been hitting the driver nice. I tend to keep it in play.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. I'm not the longest guy. I'm not the straightest guy, but I just find a way to keep the golf ball on the golf course and keep moving forward and not make very many mistakes. I think that's what's helped me a ton. I don't know if I'm playing too conservatively, but it's been working all right. I just kind of waiting around for the win is what it feels like right now.
What are you swinging?
I got the Callaway AI Smoke. Shout out Callaway, sponsor me.
Absolutely.
Let's go, man.
That, but and then I play TaylorMade irons.
Okay.
I used to play the Callaway irons. I didn't like them so much, so I switched back to the TaylorMades.
Do we have to cut that part out?
Callaway, figure out your irons. No, we're good.
Man, one of the things I love about golf is I feel like there's so many random phrases and like slang terms for just random stuff. What are like some of your favorite like golf terms?
Golf lingo is fantastic. Gosh, I'm trying to think of some good ones. It almost has to be in the moment.
Right, it just happens. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean, there's appropriate ones. There's inappropriate ones. There's some 4-letter words that are said out there by me sometimes. But yeah, our lingo is great. It's I might have to come back to that one.
No, yeah, you're good. Putting you on the spot, man. That's wild.
All right, as a certified golf professional, someone who's trying to get into golf, has never played, what would you recommend? How to get into golf? You know, are there certain things someone should do, whether it's going to the range, playing certain courses, clubs? What would you suggest?
I would suggest start on the green and work backwards. So learn how to score it. So start at 30 feet from the hole, and can you get it in the hole in 2 strokes 18 times in a row? So you're trying to shoot 36. And then scoot back to 50 feet, scoot back to 30 yards, 40 yards, and just learn how to score it. Because, I mean, you'll learn how to hit it if you can learn how to score it. But I would say, so to put it short, start from, work backwards. Start at the hole, work backwards.
Don't try and write this down for myself.
Yeah, I was gonna just
don't go to the golf course and just expect to start, playing 18 holes and being decent. It's really, really hard. The ball does not tend to like to go straight.
Golf is one of the most humbling sports in the world.
It really is.
It is. And seek advice. Go find a golf professional. Go see Scott Wimpy up at Firekeeper. That's my guy. That's who I still use as my coach, but he works with everybody. Same Davis Atterbury, he's my trainer. He still helps people with golf swing and stuff. So and your body if you want to get your body right and move correctly.
So I guess on that, how many different coaches do you have? What do they all do? How often are you training?
I have 2. So Scott is my swing coach and just like golf coach in general. We talk strategy and stuff. I see when I'm home, I played with him today. We just went up, played Firekeeper. So I see him at least once or twice when I'm home, if I'm home for a week. Yeah. Davis, I see 2 or 3 times a week, and that's if I'm home or on the road. We do Zoom calls and stuff, and some of the time it's movement, and we do a ton of just mobility and strength training stuff. And then we also do mental training things and word practice. Just what kind of words am I saying to myself on the course, off the course?
Wow, really?
What am I thinking? Breathing techniques to try and get like heart rate to settle down.
We were just talking about that before you got in.
Yeah, we were. Yeah.
You want to dive into that?
Oh, I'm getting into running, and it's kind of been a surprising fun part of it is kind of, as the Gen Zers say, raw dogging a run, no headphones,
Yep.
no phone, no music, whatever. And it's just the mental game of it has been surprisingly fun. So we were talking just before this about, what that's been like. You're kind of David Goggins, on yourself, come on, man, you got this,
Who's going
push
to carry
harder.
the boats and the logs?
That's exactly what you said. So exactly. I'm curious, how is a coach helping you with that? Like, what does that process look like?
And what does that look like in golf?
Especially if it's over a Zoom call and he's not like walking the course with you. I mean, how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is we write a bunch of stuff. So like journaling, and we'll do it over a Word doc so he can see it, I can see it, and I'll write about how I'm feeling on a certain thing. Sometimes it's I'm not feeling good about my putting, and he'll ask, okay, well then write about how you feel when you're putting your best, or just write how you're feeling right now about your putting. I'll write it. We'll read it through. Next time around, I'll read it 30% slower. Next time around, I'm reading it at that 70% pace, but with a breath after each period, and just breaking it down until it clears things up in my head quite a bit.
Wow.
Working through it, breathing through it, and then it just doesn't feel as overwhelming, and it feels more organized, and you can have a plan of attack on how to break it down and improve from it.
Wow.
Yeah. Why is it when I think about my putting, I just envision myself snapping my putter?
Yeah.
Is that part of the training? Is that positive self-talk?
It happens. Yeah. It happens. I saw a guy punt his putter on Sunday in an event, so like 30 yards.
Yeah. Well, what do you do if you have
it.
no positive feelings in regards to your putting?
Go home.
Yeah. Go home.
Putt with your wedge.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been there. Just try and get it in the hole. Get out of there.
Oh, man. That's amazing. Do you find that everybody's pretty good. Like there's a baseline level skill. Everybody's pretty good, pretty skilled. Do you find that the mental game is more of a limiting factor for guys than maybe other things like skill?
Absolutely. I mean, they say golf's 90% mental, and
right.
And once you get to a certain level, it is that makes the difference between the good and the great. And just being out there, and I've had to work on it. I've had to work on the words I'm telling myself, the thoughts I'm thinking, my breath. I can tell now. I can watch somebody. I can tell when they're gonna hit a bad shot because their breath's real high and tight and they're nervous. Or I can tell when their round. I can even tell when my round's gonna go to crap because I start telling myself I'm awful and I suck, and this is, I start becoming the victim of my circumstance.
Yeah.
You're going to get bad breaks in golf. Just, before you tee off, you kind of just have to accept it. If you could hit a perfect tee shot right down the middle and it can end up in a divot, or you can, barely pull it off the fairway and it could be right behind a tree. That's just stuff that's going to happen, and it doesn't make you a bad golfer or anything like that. So just being able to move on from things like that and just, I've really found, Davis and I have worked on it, just in accepting the challenge and finding the fun in it. You're behind a tree. Okay, this is going to be a fun par when I chip it out and hit a wedge close and make the putt.
Wow.
And then you build momentum, and then you have that domino of good positive energy rolling instead of I hit it behind the tree, I hack it out, I hit a bad wedge, I make bogey.
Right.
Yeah. And then your dominoes start going.
And when the ball lands behind the tree, I suck. I knew this was going to happen. I'm the worst, But just go no, this one's going to be a fun win. It's going to be a creative way to get this hole.
Right.
Yeah. It's
what
great.
a great parallel for just life, though, in general.
Right.
I mean, just treating it head on, obstacles you're going to face, looking at it as an opportunity, not a victim of your circumstances.
Yeah. It really, I think there's a lot we could say about that, just seeing it as an opportunity, and not letting it kick your can around,
Yeah. A lot of parallels between golf and life. Golf, you're going to hit bad shots. It's part of the deal. Life, you're going to have bad stuff happen.
Right.
Welcome to life. So.
Right. Yeah. Welcome to Earth.
Welcome.
Topeka courses. Maybe we'll go to public courses in Topeka. What's your go-to? What's your favorite? Why? Or a particular hole? What do you like about some of the public courses around town?
We low-key have awesome public golf in Topeka.
Really?
I think so. For the town our size, our golf is good. Cypress in the Lake, fantastic. My favorite, Village Greens.
Yeah.
I'm a big Village Greens guy. I haven't been up there in a while, but I love that golf course.
Yeah.
I think it's fun. I love just how it's run. It's very chill, laid back. I think golf needs more of that.
Yeah.
It's more inclusive, I guess. Invites people to. It's not intimidating if you you go out. Topeka Country Club's my favorite course, obviously, probably in the world. But if your first time golfing is at Topeka Country Club, probably you're not gonna love it. It's just it's a hard golf course. It's intimidating, and it's traditional. It's classic, but it'll just beat you up and spit you out.
Right.
You think it's harder than Firekeeper?
Depends on your style of play.
I played Firekeeper for the first time the other day. I probably lost 9 golf balls all off the tee.
Oh, that golf course eats golf balls. I played there this morning.
And I'm not a good golfer, but tough. I play enough. I'm
right.
15 handicap and losing 9 balls off the tee. That's defeating.
Yeah.
It's one of those, let's get out of here.
Unforgiving off the tee out there. But it's still fun. It's a beautiful track.
It is a really
It's one of our better ones.
Worst golf course in Topeka.
Oh, man. Don't make me do that.
Are you allowed to say? You don't have to say if you know what.
I don't know. I want to buy it someday, but it's one of my favorites, but I'm going to trash it. Western Hills. I love that golf course, but
you see the potential. It's got potential.
It has potential.
It's got potential.
It's not there right now.
It's like the 80s movie with the girl who's actually like really attractive, but she's got glasses and weird hair, and they just give her a makeover, and boom, she's the prom queen.
That's exactly
that golf course.
So I'm trying to ruin their stock so I can go.
There you go.
Right.
So Western Hills, is that because of the condition it's in right now, or are there certain holes and layouts that you don't care for?
There's just some certain holes. The condition has gotten so much better in the last 4 or 5 years. There's just some holes that need to be redesigned, and a few, some trees that need to go down. Some length can be added in places. I have some ideas. I've played it enough, and it's.
Do you have like drawings? Like you've mapped it out
in my head? I haven't put that down yet. I'm a horrible drawer, so it looks way better.
You're
in my
like,
head.
this is what I'm thinking. You're like, what is that? What does that mean?
In crayon. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. But I have ideas, and it's close to the house, so I go out there and chip and putt and practice a bunch because nobody's ever out there practicing. So I just have it all to myself, and I love Western Hills.
Yeah. Wow. I'm just betraying how little I know about golf, but I know there's the really famous course in Scotland that's like super hard or whatever.
St. Andrews?
Have you ever played that?
Home of golf? I haven't. I've never been to Europe. No, haven't made it over there yet.
Yeah.
Going to. Women's Women's Open Championships there this weekend, so you can see it on TV.
There you go. Yeah, I'll have to watch
There you go. You can watch the Women's U.S. Open.
There you go, man.
Open Championship.
It's awesome.
Maybe shifting a little bit to your relationship with Topeka. You said you travel all over, and then you joke that you come home on your vacation in Topeka. Walk us through maybe your relationship with Topeka. Have you been here your whole life? And a little bit about that.
I've never really left Topeka except for my 3 years in Manhattan. So this is home, and it will remain that way. Even if I make the PGA Tour, I've always said Topeka will be my home, and it will be.
Wow.
It's tough to do the winters here. So like last winter, I did the winter in Tucson, Arizona. So I did 6 months there and 6 months here. So
just so you could keep playing.
That's the only reason I went down there.
Hard to play in
simulators aren't doing it for you.
Not cool. You can't simulate the real deal. And but I love Topeka, man. It's perfect size for me. My team's here. I just love life here. I love the people. So I'd never leave Topeka.
Wow. Why?
I just love the way of life here. It's, it's simple. There's no traffic. I get my work done, but it's really for the people, honestly. I've been a ton of places.
So good.
I've never met people kinder and more genuine than the people in Topeka, and they've helped me out a ton. That's a huge reason of why I can keep doing what I'm doing, because it's obviously financially difficult. Topeka Country Club's been great to me. They give me a place to practice. Scott, my coach, really cuts me a nice deal, and we get to work together. Davis has been great for me. So it just makes the most sense for what I'm trying to do, and I just have so much support. I meet so many new people. You guys who are encouraging of what I'm doing, and
we were actually going to try to convince you to quit. Yeah, we're like, this is it, bro. Quit.
Did my parents put you up?
Hey, you're still going to cut us the check after this, right? Yeah, we really think you should go with the MBA route.
Yeah, find a desk job.
No, I'm kidding. No, man, we love it. We're pumped, man. There's like people from Topeka doing great things out there. Man, it's awesome.
We're trying, and I love representing Topeka. Washburn's a big part of my life, and couldn't be more proud to be a Washburn alum. So I rep their stuff on my golf bag, and I wear their shirts from time to time. Ronnie keeps hooking me up with the gear every year.
Nice,
so I keep rocking the bods out there.
Heck yeah. That's probably some good recruiting tool for him as well.
I hope so. I'm trying to get the Ichabod out there. It always gets a question like, what's that logo? What's Go Bods? I have Go Bods on my yardage book cover. Like, what's a bod?
And they just, this is their first year for their girls team, right?
First year for girls team.
Yeah,
so Washburn golf on the come up.
Let's go, man. That's awesome, dude.
They're gonna be good, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, I would be willing to bet, whether you know it or not, you probably have so many more people supporting you behind the scenes just from your post-round recap stuff that you do. I mean, that's big now. I've been watching those for probably a year, and I met you 15 minutes ago. So, I mean, I've been watching those for forever, and I was holding a conversation with someone like, yeah, it looks like Andrew's playing well this year, yada, yada. Hadn't talked to him, but I'm following the Instagram.
Dude, that's awesome, man.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that's really where I've seen a ton of support. I mean, Topeka and beyond is just people who I've never met or didn't know they were watching, and that's like the first thing they bring up. Like when I first started doing it, I didn't know how many people were watching it. Now I feel like, okay, it has some traction. It's not reaching, crazy amounts of people, but it's reaching the people who care, and that's really who I care to see it. So.
Right.
Yeah. And here's the real question we want to know. Are you in fact sponsored by Coors Light?
No, not yet. I tag them in every post. I haven't heard a word back. I'm looking for a beverage sponsor for Beverage with Beckler. So words out there. I'm open to.
He's open. He's fielding offers. Everybody.
I am.
Wow.
Send him my
awesome.
DM. Tens of dollars.
Speaking of that, what kind of sponsors do you have? What does that work look like? Do you have one just for the Beverage with Becklers? Tell us a little bit about that side of it.
That's been an interesting deal. I have one main sponsor, Phoenix Marketing, Seth Stevens. Shout out him. I met him through my old job before I quit my job. We've been friends ever since, but he's been super supportive, giving me, financial resources to try and cover expenses. Like that's my biggest thing is if I can cover expenses, my golf will take care of the rest.
Wow.
So
is that a Topeka guy?
He's a Topeka guy.
Cool.
I've had other family friends just chip in here and there. I'll get Venmos from people, which has been just the biggest blessing ever. So
what's your Venmo?
I don't think it's like A Beckler 13.
There we go.
So there you go. But,
we'll get our tens of followers on that.
Come on. Perfect. But I mean, he's Topeka based. All my sponsors are basically Topeka based, and my family's been a huge help to me. One who just like supporting me to do what I'm trying to do. It ain't easy, and then giving me a roof over my head. I just live at home. I'm never home, so when I'm vacationing in Topeka, I just stay with my folks and kick it for a few days and hit the road again. Mom gives me some homemade meals, which I don't get very many of, and then
does laundry.
Then I turn the car around and head to the next small town.
There you go, man.
Awesome.
Wow. Yeah. What would be what are some things, as you think about the city of Topeka, what are some things that you'd like to see happening here? Maybe it relates to golf, but just generally too.
Ooh, that's a good question. With golf, I've already seen a huge improvement with what Jared Goring does. He was my high school coach. He runs Topeka Junior Golf, and there's hundreds of kids who are in that now. That's so much bigger than what it was when I was in junior golf. First tee, Mark just runs the first tee, and it's grown so much. So golf-wise, there's that. Honestly, I'd love to see a restaurant that has a little bit healthier food. We have great sports bar scene in Topeka.
Right.
Bullfrogs, Jefferson's, Glazed Goose. The Spot's my favorite bar. But I've tried to change the way I eat, and I just feel like I don't go out to eat very much in Topeka.
Yeah, it's difficult.
It's tough if you're trying to, be on a diet and cautious of what, you're putting in your body. Yeah. So if somebody could come up with a restaurant that had like really healthy options, but delicious. I don't want to keep going out and getting a salad. That's just boring.
Yeah. Right.
I want a good dish that doesn't kill me.
What diet are you on, or what's your nutrition plan right now? You said you've gotten really healthy the last couple of years.
Yeah, I've probably dropped 30 to 40 pounds in like a year.
Wow.
Year and a half. So
come on, bro. Good job, man.
thanks. So I just realized there weren't a whole lot of dad bods out on tour anymore. So I'm trying to fit in with those guys. Yeah. They're actual athletes now. It's crazy.
Wow. Oh yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
But the big thing for me was just protein intake. I just try and take in as much protein, cut out sugar.
No sugar?
As little as I can. I have a sweet tooth, so I found some like alternatives. I'll make like a dessert with protein powder instead of eating like a cookie. It's a protein cookie, but I find my, some sweet stuff. Cut back on my Coors Lights.
Oh, sorry, man. Sorry.
It's all good. I still enjoy, obviously enjoy them. I haven't completely cut drinking out of my life, but just tons of protein. I go on walks every day. That's huge for me. Like outside of just walking on the golf course, just going for a walk, like low intensity, but some cardio, and then lifting weights. But Davis, my trainer, has been a huge resource for me with like my nutrition. Like he's really helped turn the page for me on what I need to do. Stop going out to eat so much. I learned how to cook for myself a little bit.
Wow,
it's simple stuff, but
that's a big milestone, Yeah. You're upper 20s or something?
Yeah, 27.
Come on, bro. That's a big milestone. Learn to
better
cook.
Figure that out. But I've enjoyed it. It's fun. But just like that mental shift of food for fuel, not for enjoyment. I'm a foodie.
Right.
I love food. But when I started to think about, okay, this is what's going to help.
Food for fuel versus food for emotional comfort.
Bingo.
Right?
That's
I'm
more
sad.
Spot on.
Food.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's been huge. And I've seen the effects on the golf course.
Wow, really?
Yeah, tons. Just like instead of kind of petering out around 3 and 4, that's when I start to feel like I'm starting to come on strong. I'm starting to get in the rhythm. And you go 2, 3, 4 weeks in a row on the road if you're not fueled properly or you're out of shape. I mean, it definitely makes a difference. And being somebody who, was overweight and unhealthy on the road versus how I am now, it's made the world of difference.
Wow.
For me. So
that makes sense. I mean, I'm not a nutritionist by any means, but I found like I've gone through, seasons where I'm like more intentional about what I eat or, cutting out certain things that are unhealthy. And I found when I have a higher protein diet, like I won't hit the afternoon slump. It's just like I don't need coffee at 2 p.m. I just feel great. I'm just keeping the day going.
The energy, the mental clarity.
Yeah, the mental clarity. Yeah, man.
It's unmatched when my diet. I can tell when my diet's on and when it's off.
Right.
So that's been huge for me.
Probably gonna pay for this one later this afternoon, but
that's all right.
All right, I got a golf theory of mine that I want to run by you.
Okay.
Would you agree that since I want to know if this is just my stage of life or if you see this across all the people you're talking to, you think golf has gotten more popular in the last 3, 4 years, 5 years since COVID?
Oh yeah, it's totally boomed. COVID changed golf forever.
Okay. Really?
Yes. Oh, I think, at least for now, but I mean, like during COVID, the golf course was the busiest place in the world. Nobody was working, everybody was golfing, and then it just kind of stuck. I think it's really changed for like the playing of golf, which is like increased in, viewership of professional golf. But really, I think it's mostly people just love to play more than watch. When we watch, we fall asleep.
Right.
But it's so much fun, and people are starting to see how addicting it can really be.
Okay, so here's my theory. Okay, with that established, golf has gotten more popular over the last 3 to 5 years. What if he disagreed with
your premise?
Well, then I wasn't going to ask why. Yeah, exactly. Here we are. So golf has gotten more popular over the past 3 to 5 years since COVID. My theory is that in the next 20 years, the golf game and the level of competition is going to explode through the roof because all of these young 20s and 30-year-olds who are now getting into golf because it's boomed are going to try and get their kids into golf because now it's cool. And so you're going to get all these people that, would have played football or basketball or whatever. They're playing golf. And so you're going to get a lot of these higher quality athletes getting into the sport young. Do you back that theory or am I full of it?
Absolutely. It's already happening. You can see these kids coming onto the scene like in college who just murder the golf ball. And like that's huge part of the game now is
just like natural athletes.
Yeah, like the guy who could probably be an all-state quarterback is playing golf and just nuking the golf ball. So yeah, it's gonna happen. It's happening right now, but still still got to get the golf ball in the hole, man. Like, that's a whole different story than just murdering the ball. But yeah, as the guys are going to continue to get better. We'll see what happens when they roll the golf ball back and change equipment and stuff like that. Like that's coming down the pipe soon. So,
wait, do what? What's that?
Walk us through that.
Yeah.
So last year they decided they're going to roll the golf ball back. I think it's like 10% distance wise. So the golf, if you hit, a 100-yard shot now, it's going to go 90.
Like just in the design of the ball?
Yes. So like they have limitations on like compression and spin and what the golf ball can do, and they're going to roll back its abilities in the next year.
Now that's just for professionals, right?
Just for the professionals, but they're going to have to change it across the board, because like the coolest thing about golf is, if you want to go play TPC Scottsdale where, all the pros play, you can go with the same club and the same ball and see what you can do versus what they do.
Yeah, wow. Absolutely.
In a year or two, you go and they're playing a ball that's rolled back. You're still playing the normal ball. It's not like the comparison's not there anymore.
Right.
I completely agree. I think that's the coolest part about golf is I can, on any given day, play the exact same course, ball, equipment, conditions that Tiger Woods played. And I can straight up compare how good am I compared to Tiger Woods today. Right. NFL, NBA, any of these other sports, you can't do that. I have no idea what it's like to be a quarterback, behind the Chiefs O-line.
Right.
I never
down
will.
by 3, like 5 from the
Yep. I will never know.
Yeah.
But I know exactly what it's like to be 100 out on that particular hole, and I see Tiger's 100 out there too. So it really puts it in perspective.
Yeah, it's like the most relatable sport ever, like across the board. But if you roll the pros back, you have to roll everybody back. Otherwise, it loses that part of the game.
Right. Golf is already so hard.
It's already so hard now.
Making it harder.
Dang, I thought you were about to drop like some wild conspiracy theory on us about golf or something.
No wild conspiracy theories from me.
Do you have any conspiracy theories about golf?
Ooh,
superstitions maybe too.
I definitely have some superstitions, but
we'll go conspiracy theories first.
Conspiracy theories. Gosh, I have some thoughts about like the Live PGA Tour stuff. Definitely.
Spill it.
I think Jay Monahan was definitely paid and already knew that he was going to take that Saudi deal, and he screwed up a lot of lives like of PGA Tour guys. Like, feel bad for Gary Woodland. The guy gets offered from Live. I mean, I played with him in practice rounds when Dustin Johnson was already on Live. Gary was one of the guys in question. It was 100% a recruiting deal there. I wish he would have recruited me. But I knew Gary had an offer, and I mean, those dudes anytime you can get guaranteed money in golf, you kind of have to take it. I mean, It is just such a wild game. You can lose your game, or like in Gary's case, he's had some health issues in the last couple of years, and he missed out on a bunch of, generational wealth. And it all could have been different if he would have been able to know that Jay Monahan and the PGA Tour were going to go behind their backs and basically, kind of screw him over. But I think the PGA Tour has been not acting in the best interest of his players for a very long time. And unfortunately, it took Live Golf to kind of make them think about it and shake things up. We'll see what happens.
So you think it was a good thing? It kind of is making progress for golf?
I think it in the long term will be. Right now, I think it's pretty detrimental to the game when you don't have the best players in the world playing together every single week, and there's a separation. But and it sucks that guys like Gary were in the in the crossfire of the changing of the game. But I think in the future it's going to look a lot like Premier League soccer with with the tiers, and I think that's how they're going to kind of mesh it back together. But it's going to be messy when they come together, and they will. They're owned by the same people now. Like it's all.
It would be nice if it was more organized, like Premier League. Premier League's a great model with the levels, and hey, if you're at the top of one level, you move up. If you're at the bottom of one level, you move down. Yeah, that could be a great model.
It's awesome, and they have that somewhat with like the Corn Ferry Tour and the PGA Tour. The top guys from the Corn move up to the PGA, and vice versa. But I mean, with how popular golf is now, they could probably do 3 to 4 tiers. Yeah. And, that grows their brand even more. And just, I mean, how exciting is it to watch guys playing for their career?
Yeah.
Right.
Big money on the line. Like, big money on the line on the Live's cool, and on the PGA Tour. Like, watching Scotty Scheffler win $4 million every week is really awesome for him. But, I mean, as somebody who's, in the shoes of, the fine line of making it and not, I think it's fun watching guys battle for those moments. And, it's life-changing stuff when guys win on the PGA Tour for the first year, and You don't get that on Live. You still get that on the PGA Tour. I hope that they highlight that even more and that fans embrace that. But
what did you think about golf and the Olympics this year? Did you watch any of it? Did you like that for the sport?
yeah, I loved it. I think it's fantastic. I mean, anytime golf can be on a global stage like that, and I mean, you saw how much it meant to Scotty to win a gold medal.
Yeah.
The dude's won everything else in the world, and he never cried.
Yeah.
And he gets on the podium at the Olympics, and he's bawling his eyes out. So it was cool to see it mean so much to him. And even, the guys who finished silver and bronze, like, it still means the world to just be on that podium. So
there's something about an Olympic medal. Just, it's the Olympics.
It's different. You're a top athlete ever. I mean, that's your sport. So, I think it's fantastic that it's...
I thought it was the funniest thing ever. So I saw a picture of Scotty, Rory, and a bunch of other players at the Olympics. They were holding like this first day of school poster, basically saying, hey, this is my nickname. This is the best part of my game. What is your goal for the Olympics? And they all put in what their goal was. Naturally, all these athletes, their goal for the Olympics is to win gold.
Right.
Not Scotty Scheffler. Scotty Scheffler writes in there, his goal for the Olympics is to have fun. And he goes out there and just kills everybody, shoots 9 under on the day, ties the course record for the 4th day.
Wow.
Insane. But
that's crazy. I was curious, and tell me, if I'm off on this, but it seems like generally in most competitive, some guys are real clutch guys, by nature. So like the pressure is good, but it seems like for most people in competition, if you can have the attitude, hey, I want to be loose, I just want to have fun, let the outcome be what it is, you generally do better. Do you find that that's the case?
Absolutely.
Well, then how do you navigate the tension of, I play better when I'm loose and I'm just there to have fun, but also I can't survive unless I do well and make money? That's like, those are the opposites. Those are the exact opposites. So how do you navigate that,
Yeah, it's a practice. Like, it's taken me time to figure that out. I wasn't as good as it when I first started, and I'm much better at separating the two now. A lot of it just goes back to just thinking, like, your preparation, the day-to-day. If you put in the work day-to-day, you just got to trust in your preparation that good things are going to happen. I always say, like, if I chase my dreams, good things will happen. That's a big way I get out of bed, is if I give it 100% and I chase my dreams, good things will happen, regardless if it's golf, if it's not. So I can rest my head easy at night with that. But like, being able to, when you're at Q school, when your job's on the line, and being able to, swing as freely as you do when you're third beer deep with your buddies. That's when I play my best. So like, that's the swing thought my dad gave me. He's like, swing like you've had 3 Coors Lights, because he knows that's when I play my best. So just being able to recall, that's the preparation. Just, it takes practice. You just if you play tons of tournaments, it starts to just come naturally. You don't really think about the outcome. You don't think about your check. You're just trying to get the ball in the hole as fast as you can. And if you do, great. If you don't, you got tournament next week. Keep going.
Right. Who's your favorite pro golfer right now?
Right now, it's Max Homa.
Okay.
That guy's awesome. Great personality.
Yeah.
Love Max.
Have you met him?
I have. I met him at the U.S. Open.
Nice.
At a Red Sox game. This is the first time I met him. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was sweet.
Was that like a weird, hey, I'm a big fan, or hey, I'm your competitor?
I had a friend who kind of knew him and introduced me to him. It was just to shake his hand and say what's up to him.
Awesome.
But, it was really neat.
That's awesome. Favorite restaurant in Topeka?
Jong's.
Okay, let's go.
The place is fire. Love going to Jong's.
What about it?
The food is awesome. Service, I love them in there. They're so nice to me every time I go. And it's BYOB, so I can take a 6-pack Coors Light.
Are you serious?
Yeah, promise.
I didn't
You just got to call and get a reservation like so far in advance.
No, it's so true.
They're so busy, which is great. I love them.
That's awesome, man.
Okay.
Favorite coffee shop?
Ooh, good question. Let's go Circle. I like Circle.
Okay.
I've been on Circle a lot lately.
Let's
It's a popular favorite. That's a favorite.
What would you say is the most frustrating part of living in Topeka?
Road conditions. Yeah, just potholes and then roads being closed. Just it seems like every time I come back home, there's something else closed.
Well, that was a perfect segue then. Yep. How many potholes did you hit on your way here today?
Like 8 probably.
Okay. Were you able to get here without hitting construction?
Yes, I was.
Come on, let's
Today.
go.
Huge
Come on,
way to
Topeka.
go,
That's a
Good
win.
job, road
Let's go.
crews. Come on, man. Do we hit your favorite golf course, right?
No, we have. Well, yeah, we did. Yeah, I think
Or you
so.
said
Favorite golf course, Topeka Country Club. I grew up
Right,
out there.
yeah,
That's
right.
my place. The renovation job is fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. It's been fun.
Do you have a favorite gym?
Favorite gym? Davis Atterbury's Garage. That's where I work out. That's my
Nice.
homie. Shout out
Let's
Davis.
go. How do we get a subscription to that?
Oh, just DM him, bro. He's
go
open.
pro
He's
on
taking
golf.
clients.
That's awesome. Have you ever had to do any building projects, home projects?
I'm not very handy, admittedly.
If you were to have to go to Home Depot, Lowe's, or Menards, which one would you go to?
Probably Home Depot.
Come on, let's
Depot.
go, bro. Shunga Trail or Burnett's Mound?
Burnett's.
Yeah, come on, that's right.
Hills.
Last one. If you were to, take somebody on a date, what would the go-to date night spot be?
Ooh, I think I gotta go Jong's. It's a nice,
Yeah.
little quiet spot. And then,
Love it.
after that for a drink, maybe the Knox. And then the
Yeah.
tee box, get a few swings in late
yeah.
night. Shout out my boy Jake. I love the tee box.
Heck
So
Yeah.
That's
Come on,
probably a
man.
little 3-stop date.
Where's the Knox? I don't think I've.
It's in the same building as White Linen. So they're connected. Just across the hallway.
Cool.
Sweet cocktails.
Nice. Okay.
My boy Phil in there. He used to be at Topeka Country Club. Now he's mixologist there. TCC wasn't letting him cook like he needs to.
Dang, bro.
Yeah, his cocktails are so good.
Oh man. Well, dude, bro, thanks so much for
Thanks for your time.
Cheers, guys.
It's an
Thanks for the
honor.
invite.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. Thanks so much.